I'm really excited today to be talking to you about a new feature that we're releasing called the Lesson Planner. This is a new feature we're going to be launching on articles on our Newsela view page, and it's a new feature powered by our Luna AI assistant. We've often heard from teachers that Newsela has a great library of content, but it can often take a lot of time to figure out how to use that content in your classroom in ways that match up with your particular objective and learning standards. So, with that in mind, we're launching this new lesson planner to help give teachers an idea of how they can use Newsela in their planning process and hopefully save them some time. So, let's take a look at how it works. In this example, I'll be using a social studies article on events leading to American independence and imagining that I am a social studies teacher thinking about how I might want to use this in my classroom. So I'm going to start by specifying an objective. In this instance, I'll say students will be able to describe the major causes of the American Revolution. I'll go ahead and specify a standard. In this case, I've already got one in mind, but just know that you'll be able to use your particular local standards to help select what you want. I'm going to pick a standard on, if this is a seventh grade social studies standard, focusing on how those tensions over political power and economic issues sparked a movement for independence, which seems like a great fit. You can see that we've got some optional toggles here. I can say if I want to include projects ideas or supports for multilingual learners, I can specify the time of the lesson, but let's go ahead and hit generate. Once I've done that, it'll start generating my lesson plan for me. It'll usually take just a few seconds. And then once that's done, we'll be able to start reviewing that out. Perfect, there it is. So now that I can see the output of the lesson plan, you can see it's got the created by Luna tag here. Let's start by just taking a look at what's included. It starts with my objective, and I like that it fleshed it out a little bit for me, which is great. Now we're moving into reading instructions. You can see that the reading instructions that are provided are really meant to be specific to the Newsela article you're using. So in this instance, we're using language like choosing one color to highlight key events that increase tensions between American colonies and Great Britain, and another color to highlight reasons why the colonists felt unfairly treated or taxed. This will be great as my students are actually using the article, but they'll be able to use our on-platform features to help use that. Or again, if they're just reading the article in print, they'll be able to use their highlighters to do that. What I love about this is that this is meant to be really easy to implement in your actual assignment. So I can go ahead and copy this, pull it over into my assignment, and use that there so that my students will be able to really have those specific instructions in mind as we go through. Below the reading instructions, you can see that we've given you lots of different ideas for how you could use this content in your classroom, whether that is creating a timeline, having students lead a group discussion, using some compare and contrast chart. And one thing I want to call out is that this Luna authored lesson plan is also going to be able to use some of our Luna authored graphic organizers. So for instance, in this example, you can see that the activity idea is saying you should use a compare and contrast chart to examine differences between British and colonial perspectives on taxation and governance. And if I go ahead and open that up, what it's going to do is give me a Luna-powered AI-crafted graphic organizer. So it's taking a graphic organizer template and pre-populating it with information from the article to, again, save you time in the planning process. So I'm just going to wait a moment for that to finish loading. Great. And now that that's loaded, you can see that I've got the compare and contrast graphic organizer pre-populated. This is save us some time. All of these graphic organizers that you're seeing here can all be edited and downloaded so that you can use these in your classroom. And I love, again, that they're called out directly within the lesson plan so that you've got those resources right at hand. So we got those activity ideas, which are a great place to do brainstorming if you're thinking about how you can use this in your classroom. Below that, we've got the lesson breakdown section. This is meant to be much more of a, hey, if you're giving me a prescriptive sense of what I want to use in the classroom, here's an idea of just like what one lesson plan could look like. Obviously, we know that things can vary based on your particular classroom. And so if you want to adjust any part of this, maybe you want to move part of the activities earlier, or you want to add another discussion question, no problem at all. This is all editable. So if I want to go in and say, yeah, I'd like to have my students use these graphic organizers, but then I want to add an additional discussion question, I can say, have students discuss their identified causes in a small group. We can absolutely do that and make sure that we save those changes. Oops, right up there. So that now that when I go to download or copy my lesson plan, all of that will be present, which is great. You can see as I download it that my change is now present, which is awesome. I also mentioned some of those optional toggles, so you can see that we've got the project idea and support for multilingual learners spaces here. These are again optional if you as a teacher feel like you want to include those. I like the being able to have these additional ideas for how I can extend the learning or support my students. Those sentence frames for the right prompts I think will be really helpful. So we're really excited to again be able to roll this out. We've been launching a lot of new features with Luna lately, and more will be coming. So please let us know what you think, and thanks for your time. Hope you have a great rest of your day.